Hey, hey, Merc Serene here, and this is now episode 18 of our Enigmatica 6 expert playthrough. In the last episode, we got to steel, which is amazing. We also opened a bottle from this box that gave us some coordinates. I promise I haven't tried to look for it yet. We're going to do that this episode. But first, you may have noticed there is a new table over here, and this is going to let us create some metal press molds. The key ones I want are this rod, and I'm going to want the gear. But now that I have them, how do I use them? Well, I can't yet. So we're just going to go ahead and stick them in here temporarily. And what do we need to make? We need to make this multi-servo press. And it's actually not too hard to make, except it does take a block of steel. But let's go ahead and start crafting it up. We are now using our brand new steel already, because here we are. We had to use the steel in order to make those molds. We had to make this block of steel. You can see I don't actually have a whole lot left. I've only got 14. And one of the other big challenges I'm running into now is I'm running low on iron. So we're going to have to start dealing with that soon as well, because I don't want to have to keep mining for it. But for now, let's go ahead and finish this craft. Multi-Servo Press. That should probably complete a quest too. Sure did. Will that quest be in here? Doesn't look like it. It must just be in the Thermal Series line, which is fine. Go ahead and, oh, it gave us the gear mold. I should have looked here ahead of time. I should have looked here. Oh well. Guess we got an extra. Let's just take a quick look. Do these have any fancy rewards? Okay. Not really. Not like that. So, we might be able to use this later. Like, if we set up, like, a couple dedicated gear presses. I don't know. We'll figure that one out. I think we're just going to set it up in the same exact system as everything else over here. So we'll kind of chop this out of here. We'll replace the torch maybe just up there. I'm gonna have to cut out this back so we can get some power. Oh, and that's the thing too. So these basic universal cables, if you remember, I got them from a quest, but I couldn't make any more of them because they took steel. Now we can make these, which is going to be great. We're going to be able to vastly expand our power system at some point, of course. So we'll go ahead and get the servo press in there. I think I want the plate molds in right now just to start with. And we're going to place a chest. Maybe I should just do a barrel like this. But for now, a chest right here where I can put the extra plate mold in. What was the point of making this? Well, let's take a quick look. Lots of things use rods, right? And if I look at the rods, a rod takes 2 gold plates. And if you remember, in the beginning, you had to take 2 ingots to make a single gold plate. But we did fix that with our metal press up on the main floor. But now, instead of taking 2 plates to make a rod, we just use 1 ingot to make a rod. So we've significantly cut down, by 50% the amount of resources required to make rods. All right, when I opened that message in a bottle that gave me the coordinates of 9.17 north and 19.89 east, I was standing about right here. So what I've done is I used Journey Map to create a waypoint called Treasure, and all I did was I edited the coordinates and put in what would be hopefully the treasure. So I think we're just going to go over there. This doesn't give us any sort of indication if this is actually correct or how deep it might be or what, but let's go find out. Let's go take a look. It's real close, right? I mean, it's just right here in my village. I think we'll just start digging down. I also think we're going to turn that waypoint off now, because that was annoying. Also, you're always supposed to dig straight down in Minecraft. That's the primary rule, right? gone down quite a ways and haven't found anything yet. So I've gone down quite a long ways now and found a cave, but I can't imagine this is what it was trying to point us to. I also hear a skeleton. We're just going to take a quick peek. Oh, wait, there is a brewing stand. Maybe this is what it was trying to get us to. We're going to check this out. There's a witch down here. That's odd. Hate witches. And I'm poisoned. Alright, so, there's TNT very clearly, right underneath that, that chest. So we're just gonna do that and get rid of it. And, let's go ahead and see what we got. Throwing knife schematic, you know, nothing really to write home about. We'll still take it. And what's in the next one? Rusty iron, I mean, for decoration stuff. Pilfering, oh, may steal a piece of armor from hooked targets. We can put this, someone gave me an amazing comment. So in a previous episode, I found what I called a piglin dungeon. Well, they're wearing netherite armor, and someone said if you put pilfering on a fishing rod, you can yank that armor right off of them. We might be giving that a go. Alright, we'll also take that brewing stand. Never know when that'll come in handy. And I think I'm going to mark this as just like a ravine, because why not? I'm going to turn it off, though. I don't need to see the marker. Now then, I don't know if this is actually what the treasure was pointing to, the message in a bottle, but I assume it was. So I don't think I'm going to dig any deeper. Fill that back in. I think we may also be lucky that a villager didn't drop down the hole. Let's take a look at another project I think we're going to work on in this episode. Here's the bee farm. You can see it's looking a little changed. Well, what's different about it? It's pretty obvious. I think we're adding a second layer on. So I've got a whole bunch of bee nests already ready. I've got dispensers with scrapers in it. I've got grass spreading just so it looks nice. We're going to have to put some glass panes in here to separate the lanes. I think we're going to need to design a fancy roof. The old roof, you know, it's still here. It used to come up right here. I've had to cut it away because we're going to need to run redstone right on this block line here. So I think we're going to unfortunately lose the inside window, right? You used to be able to come in here, and in fact, right now you still can. You can kind of come here and see out the top, but I think we're going to have to remove that glass and probably put some other blocks here and then just totally lose sight, which is fine, because I think envisioned here was eventually these drawers would probably just like fill up this whole space, so you wouldn't be able to see back there anyways, and maybe there would be like a door or something to get access back here if needed. We don't quite have a roof on this yet, but let me show you what I've got. So I basically mimicked what we had down below up here. There is a little bit of a difference though, and you'll see it in just a second. You can see I've already got a few bees up here. I've got sooty bees and I've got RG bees in here. And then I think we're going to make iron bees for this one. Let's take a look at what I've done here. I've hooked this up in the same exact manner as it was down below. See, I had to cut a hole open in order to run the redstone through. We might do something different here, but if we're going to redo the roof, I'll probably just bring this up a little higher, and then we won't have an issue here. So let's go ahead and take a quick look inside and see what's different. I started to lay it out in the exact same manner. And so what's the old way? We have a comparator that goes into our logic control, and this logic control is looking for an input of 5, right? But we could see it's only honey level 3, so it's only getting the level 3. So we I was originally thinking I would have the same exact system on the inside, and I started to set it up. So here we are, here are the comparators. You can see that behind there would be the nest, and then we would have to have the logic control here. You'll notice, though, that this one right here is the one in the middle. I wouldn't actually be able to fit a comparator in, just because of the logic control here and the redstone there. So then I got to thinking, do I even need that? So if those ones down there can all trigger the scrapers to fire, do I really even need checks from up here? So what I have it at the moment is when it gets triggered from any of the 5 on the bottom, it comes up here and it triggers the dispensers like normal, but it will also run up the wall, and that's what goes outside. So we should be getting RGB combs and sooty combs now. The RGB combs might not have come in yet because I just put those bees in, but we do have some sooty combs in here already. So that process is working, so we may just leave it like that. If so, I'll rip all these comparators out since they're just not needed. Let's go ahead and make ourselves an iron B. B, iron. Let's take a look. How do we make the iron B? It says we have to breed a sandy bee with sand, with a forest bee and wood. Okay, that's easy enough. We have sand and woody bees. We just need to get them out. That's all. Actually, you know what? We will use this. This guy's an extra one, so we'll probably leave him out. Now I just kind of gotta wait. And you'll see, I can't actually get in here like this. However, if I use my personal shrinking device, now I can. And I don't believe a bee can get out of this, so this is going to be my sort of safe way in and out. Alright, I have just snatched 2 of each bee, because we're going to make 2 iron bees. And we're going to do it in here, because this is a safer spot. I don't believe they can get out of that opening. Oh, but you know what? They can reach their hive from here? Oh no, that's not good at all, is it? Okay, this didn't work how I wanted it to, that's for sure. I'm missing the sandy bee. Oh boy, I don't even know which one it went into. I'll come back once I've got these all wrangled. Okay, I'm going to release them all again down in my basement this time, and then I'm just going to catch them in empty bee jars. Zoop, just like that. They're all caught. So now we're going to want get our materials ready for them. Here is... Oh, and you know what? I'm going to want these ready too to catch the new iron bees. Perfect. Okay, caught, and... Where did he go? Caught. Okay, one more to go. Perfect. So we're going to put our forest bees back in their location over here. And then we're going to put one of our sandy bees back, because we did have an extra one in here. And then the iron bees are going to go upstairs. So let's go ahead and do that. Actually, I don't want to break the glass, so if I come from the back, I can fit through the gap. Right here. Since we're progressing our bees, you know, this manual centrifuge is a real pain in the butt to operate. Maybe we should look into the actual centrifuge that uses RF. We do have power, so smooth stone, real easy, just smelting normal stone. A piston, we can make a piston. Steel, we can now make steel. Machine frame, plates, gears, some glass, yes, we can do that as well. The hiccup comes in the place of this circuit backplane. Alright, it needs copper plate and it needs insulating glass. And insulating glass actually isn't that hard to make either if you've got green dye. But it does require this engineer's blueprint, and unfortunately, in order to make this, we need an alloy kiln. You know, though, I did just see one other thing, a sequenced assembly tab. A copper plate and dielectric paste. So it's a slightly different recipe, but you put the insulating glass in and it still makes it. Can we make the dielectric paste? This requires mixing, so this is going to require silicon and tar, both things that we don't have. So we have two options, right? And if we look at our quest log, one option is to come down this path, right, to get to tar. We're going to need a centrifugal separator or maybe a fractioning sill or even a pyrolyzer to get that. I don't see the silicon here either, but I think silicon might actually come from rubber. Maybe? We'll have to look that one up. Silicon comes from, oh, smelting nether quartz. Okay, so it's really just the tar that we need to get if we go this way. The alternative step is actually along our computer science path of getting a kiln set up. In order to get a kiln set up, we have to make the kiln bricks, which requires more sequenced assembly. And you can see this one actually even has one more of the deployers than what I have set up already. But this is probably where we should go. So we're going to need construction paste, which we know how to make. Mud bricks, which is water and dirt. We're going to need blast bricks, which we also know how to make since we just made them in the last episode. And we're going to need this lapis compound, which comes from a coarse lapis compound, which comes from mixing, and tar. So tar and ectoplasm. I'm going to say tar is our limiting factor. I think we need to come back to this here and revisit the path going down, starting with an Arboreal Extractor. Let's see if we have what it takes to make an Arboreal Extractor right now. I know that we don't have half of this. Yes, okay, so andesite casings aren't even found, so we're gonna need to have to make a few of those. Do we have any? We have one. But we should have the materials to make those. I mean, we're gonna make 2 sets of them. Fluid pipes, copper plates, and copper ingots. Okay, perfect. I'm sure I don't have this fluid tank. Copper nugget not found. Okay, that's easy enough, right? Fluid tanks obtained. And the faucet. We're not going to have the faucet, right? Yeah. Oh, that's real easy to make. I wonder if this faucet can, like, attach to a tank with water in it or something. That'd be neat. In it goes. Out comes an Arboreal Extractor. Dun, 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 dun. Quest complete. Now we need to make a fluid encapsulator. And I think we're going to have everything needed for this as well. Bronze gear. How do we make bronze? Have we done this before? I'm going to assume copper and tin. We have. Okay. I'll get all this ready to go. We're already going to start using our multi-servo press. We're going to turn these single gold ingots into single gold rods, which will be very great. Oh, you know what? Another step we didn't do is we didn't hook this up to our pretty pipe network. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, here we are. We're going to put our pipe in there. We're going to put our low extraction module in. Oh, we can't yet, because we need to tell this that the top is an output. There we go. Now we can put that in. There goes that. Gold rods, 4 days. I mean, 10's not going to be for days, but it's going to be enough for a short time. Let's also get some more iron rods going since we're here. Something else that's going to be really cool, right? We need 2 copper gears, and copper gears take, 4 copper ingots and some aluminum and potentially iron plate, or, right, in the multi-servo press, just 4 copper ingots. So we're cutting out a lot of extra resources already from something we just made earlier in the episode. Isn't it great? We can even do the same thing with the bronze gear. So we will. Alright, I think we have everything we need. Oh no, we don't want to use our lime glass panes. Let's remove these out of there. I think I have normal glass panes. I do not. Let's go ahead and just make a few of those real quick. Our fluid cell frame obtained. We have everything else? We do. Fluid encapsulator. Dun 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 dun. Still no rewards. That's okay. Very next thing is dry rubber. Let's see. We can get dry rubber from something we don't have. The fluid encapsulator can take latex and sulfur. Alright, that's an option. Block of rubber. Let's take and see what it needs to make tiny dry rubber. It is a machine output of the latex processing unit. Oh, this common black hole tank. Actually, we can probably make that. Kitty machine frame? Maybe. I feel like uranium, I don't know, I feel like this might be, like we're not supposed to make this yet, although we might actually have the capabilities to make that. The way that it actually wants us to do it, though, of course, is to make this latex, and it wants us to do it with the Arboreal Extractor, which, honestly, shouldn't be hard to do at all, right? Is this any kind of log? No. Should be easy enough to set up, though. Let's go ahead and get our Arboreal Extractor out. We also have a single acacia, so we're gonna go ahead and grow that and farm a little bit of acacia wood. Ooh. Flowers of the Savannah, eh? Obtain an acacia blossom. Oh. What does that do? Oh, that's some bee stuff, but I don't know if it needs those. I think it's just any kind of flower, right? Okay, that's neat. Neat indeed. The unfortunate part is it looks like I only got 1 sapling back. I mean, I'm glad I got 1 back, but I'd like to get a few more than 1 per tree. That looks like a few more. Perfect. I think we'll leave a sapling there to grow as well. But I think we got enough of the acacia logs just to get us started. Now then, I don't quite know how this Arboreal Extractor works, so we're just going to set it down and see what happens. I can't put it in there. Information. Extracts fluids from adjacent trees. Maybe I shouldn't have actually chopped them down. Is that what this is telling me? It also looks like I have to put in some kind of fuel, but this doesn't say anything here about it either. All right, let's try using it now. Oh, look at that. It has lit up. So apparently it has to be an actual grown tree. How about that? It says use fertilizer to boost production. Charcoal does not fit. Oh, look, it's already gotten some of the latex. Does this bone meal count as fertilizer? Sure does look like it does, doesn't it? We'll go ahead and put a few of those in there and see what happens. So far, we've only gotten 75, and we know in order to do this through the fluid encapsulator, we need 900 just to make a single dry rubber. I gave it just a little bit of time, and look, we can see one of the 4 bone meal has been consumed, and now we get this fancy green flame. We're also now up to 411. So this isn't super slow if you put some bone meal in, it seems. It can also hold up to 8,000 millibuckets, which is 8 buckets worth. So I think we're going to let that go, build up a little bit, and then we can make the dry rubber with our fluid encapsulator. From there, it's another fluid cell. I'm kind of surprised. Oh, is this one different? Oh, we made this fluid cell frame before, but now this is a fluid cell, which is different. This can hold 32 buckets. Okay. Cured rubber. I'm assuming. Yep. Dry rubber and sulfur. Okay. And then from there, we need the tar producing machine, which we don't want the fractioning sill. Nope. We probably don't want the pyrolyzer. I think we want the centrifugal separator. I believe this is the one that lets us do rubber. In fact, it's going to be easier to see it if we look at tar itself. Centrifugal separator. No, see, this uses bitumen. This uses block of tar. Ah, the fractioning sill. Maybe this is what we want? You know, I expected one of these to take in the rubber, but it doesn't. So we have the option. We really have an option of what we want to go with here. We could get a pyrolyzer. The only thing the pyrolyzer is good for, as far as I'm aware, is coal coke, creosote oil, and tar. Well, we already have a way to make creosote oil and coal coke, so this pyrolyzer feels a little redundant to me. The centrifugal separator would give us something to do with our bitumen ore, and I think it might come in handy with some other crafts. I mean, it's got 90 pages here. A lot of it seems to be dye related. A lot of it's dye related. Yeah, so after looking through, I'm not sure which of these is the best way to go. The centrifugal separator doesn't seem bad, although it does require a lot of things, like a lot of lead. I don't really have lead. I'll have to go farm some. This is just aluminum. That's just more aluminum. Constantin, which is also doable. It's copper and nickel. So this is probably the way I'm going to go. The centrifugal separator, but please let me know in the comments if there is something I'm missing here on tar production. Maybe there's a much better way to go about this. I think we're probably at the wrapping up point already of this episode. We did a lot of little odds and ends today. You know, we went on a treasure hunt. We made a machine down there to make gears and rods. We've done this whole latex sort of system to get our rubber, and we did some bee stuff, and I think this bee stuff's going to come in handy. I don't know if those iron bees have grown up yet. Let's take a quick look before we close out to see if we have iron honeycomb. Wow. Let's just go ahead and run one through. Ha! Iron chunk. That is going to be so helpful because I'm always low on iron. Look at that. I only have 13. Now 14. So thank you again for watching. I have a bee flying around me for some reason that I don't really know. But in the next episode, we're going to continue along with the line of what we had already been doing. We're going to try to make tar, and then from the tar, we will probably push into, I guess it's not in there, we're going to push into the centrifuge through our engineer's blueprint, probably by getting the alloy kiln. I'm kind of thinking that's the way to go. So this is Merc Serene, signing off.